everyone, and welcome on back to the channel. Thank you as always for showing up, stopping on by, whether it's rainy outside, sunny outside. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Let's move on into the next track, The Beatles, the White Album. We're going to move on into the continuing story of Bungalow Bill, which just by the title either makes me think that there is some sort of reference to Bungalow Bill in perhaps another album somewhere in the past, or that this is just a little bit of a joke, a little bit of a poking fun at something, some sort of false continuation that there is not really a supposed part one, for example. Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and that's to get into the track, talk about it after. Let's go ahead and do so. Here we go. A bit of a dusty Okay. All right. So this track is definitely a track of two very, very distinct and different parts. First, you have the very upbeat, innocent, sing-along, melodious chorus. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? So it's so cheery, it's so happy and upbeat, completely different from the lyrics and contrasting lyrics of what did you kill? I don't know what kind of nefarious activities are going on, but there's some sort of murder involved. So that's kind of interesting in a contrasting kind of point of view. And then you have that really, really great shift into that dramatic kind of Americana folk sound with wonderful, wonderful guitar. That's going to be John Lennon playing acoustic guitar there. And then at the end, you hear a little bit of a sound which I thought was like a trumpet, a cornet, something like that. But I don't see any horns on here, so I'm just going to have to say that that's probably, is it organ or melody? All right, this track is showing two people playing mellotron, Lennon himself, but then Chris Thomas. I may not have listened for it. It's obvious that I didn't, because I didn't even notice that at all in here, unless that horn sound is just one of the settings on the mellotron itself, which I'll look into and see if I can kind of find that. But I think it also is really cool that in the very beginning of the track, you get set up with that wonderful guitar, which just sounds so tasty. And then before it even settles in, it immediately shifts back into the constant back and forth nature of the track, which of course would develop more and more as it goes. But in the beginning, it's incredibly shocking. It kind of scared me a little bit. But that's a cool little track. Let's kind of get into it and see what this one's about. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? He went out tiger hunting with his elephant and gun. Like an elephant gun, or maybe he was riding an elephant with a gun. Since they were in India, isn't there elephant riding in India, I believe, and maybe in Thailand, if I remember correctly. In case of accidents, he always took his mom. Well, this is before cell phones. If you get in an accident, there's no one to call, so take your mom with you. He's the all-American, bullet-headed Saxon mother's son. All the children sing, hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? Deep in the jungle where the mighty tiger lies, Bill and his elephants were taken by surprise. So Captain Marvel, not Carol, zapped him right between the eyes. All the children sing. So I'm imagining that his hunting party was taken by surprise by a tiger, and I guess Bill is Captain Marvel, who shoots the tiger, I'm assuming? The children asked him if to kill was not a sin. Not when he looked so fierce, his mummy butted in, which you have a woman, I believe a woman, say that, or it could be one of them just in a higher voice. I'll look into that as well. If looks could kill, it would have been us instead of him. That's a good line. And then it just repeats on from there. Let's dive into this one a little bit, see what's going on with this particular track here. It says that the song also contains co-lead vocals. Okay, so it's Yoko Ono who's I guess singing in this one as well, and perhaps also the voice of Mum on this one. It says the song mocks the actions of a young American named Richard A. Cook III, known as Rick, who was visiting his mother at the ashram at the same time the Beatles were there. According to his mother, both she and her son maintained friendly relations with all the Beatles except Lennon, who by Cook Tahara's account was a genius, but distant and contemptuous of the wealthy American Cook Tahara and her clean-cut, college-attending son. Says the genesis of the song occurred when she, Rick, and several others, including guides, set out upon elephants to hunt a tiger. Okay, so there is a literal element to this. The pack of elephants was attacked by a tiger, which was shot by Rick. Rick was initially proud of his quick reaction and posed for a photo. However, Rick's reaction to the slang was mixed, as he had not hunted since. Interesting. Nancy claims that all present recognized the necessity of Rick's actions, but Lennon's reaction was scornful and sarcastic, asking Rick, "But you wouldn't call that slightly life-destructive?" The song was written by Lennon as mocking what he saw as Rick's bravado and unenlightened attitude. Okay, so I like that. Always taking something literal, an actual story or event that happened, asking a question, presenting a thought, and of course using that to kind of expand the worldview and the perspective of the track. I like that. I like that. So here is where I'm seeing the Mellotron part. It says the song opens with a flamenco guitar phrase played from a standard Mellotron bank of pre-recorded rhythms and phrases by Chris Thomas. So that's where that guitar, at least in the very beginning, came from. It's just a sample being played on the Mellotron. I would have not even guessed that. Okay. And then also, actually the Mellotron is used for a lot of things here. It says the Mellotron reappears during the verses played by Lennon using mandolin samples, and during the outro played by Thomas using trombone samples. Not a trumpet, not a cornet, a trombone. Sometimes the horns, they get mixed up in my mind. Gotcha. I would have never guessed that the Mellotron was used for those, like as a stand-in or a sampling of those instruments. I just thought that they were the actual instruments. So, anyways, really cool track. A little funny, a little fun, a little silly, but with a serious message behind it and serious intent behind it. Let me know what you guys thought of the track in the comments down below. You can follow me on Twitter. You can support the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.